Hey there, I'm Saumya. Welcome to the video. And if you're new to this channel, on this channel I share what I learn on my journey related to tech, life, and just things I find fascinating. So if you like this video, do subscribe, share it with your friends, share it in your socials, tag me up on Twitter. That means a lot to me. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can write your own server using Node.js and Express. And if it's your first time writing a server, it's going to be super easy and you are on a good way. And as you can see, I've made a little bit of investment on my audio quality, so it should be really good, you know. Yeah, I know it sounds great, no need to tell me, okay? And you know why I know that? Because I don't have any money left. Everything's gone. Just kidding. Let's just jump onto our screen and I'm gonna show you how to make that thing. Okay, so we have opened our favorite editor of all time, Visual Studio Code, and we are in a totally empty folder. I named it server because obviously it will contain a server, right? So yeah, let's just open your terminal, right? Just open the terminal, and we are making it a node project, right? So it is a Node.js server, so obviously we will use node packages to build the thing, right? So how to make this happen? So first we need to initialize node package manager. So we do that by typing npm init -y. So you will have a package.json file after that, and yeah, so we have initialized that. It is completely empty now, so yeah, we don't need to care about that. Okay, so we are making the server by using a package called Express, right? So let's just install that. Okay, so we need npm I means install here, right? And Express. Cool. So it will install that. So now we have everything. Now let's start creating it. Okay, it will be really simple. Okay, so let's first make a new folder here. Okay, new folder src. So this will be our source folder. It will contain all the files in here, and let's make our first file. Let's call it app.js, right? Let's import Express now. Okay, Express from Express, obviously, and there we go. Yeah, okay, cool. So now you have to also import something called body parser. So what this does, I will say you that, okay, don't worry. From Express, there we go. What a server does, it listens, right? It listens to what data is being thrown at it, or what data is being asked from it, right? So first it needs to listen to a port in our computer, right? So let's make that happen. So how do we do that? So first we need to set up our Express. So we'll call our Express into app. So const app, this is just a variable, and we will just use Express in here, right? So Express, and there we go. We have our Express set up, and yeah, now okay, so now let's just do app.listen, right? So this listens to things. Okay, now it will listen to what? Okay, we need to specify that too. So let's just make a variable for that. So const port, will specify the port, okay, in here. So port is equal to let's give it 5000. Okay, let's listen to port 5000, and there we go. Now we will provide the port in here, right? Now it will listen to this port, and after listening to this port, we need to know something, it is working or not, right? So inside here it takes another function, as you can see in this IntelliSense or recommendation or something, whatever it is, that it first takes a number port, and then it also takes a callback. So this is the callback function that we are giving it, and in here I will tell that, okay, so now if we're connected, just console log server is running on, okay, let's just do this. Okay, there we go, on our port, right? So there we go, our port. Cool, that is totally great. Okay, so now you can probably see everything happening. So now we will go into the terminal and let's just run it, right? So node, we go into src and app.js, there we go, and yeah, obviously we have to get an error. Okay, so you have to just go into package.json and add this thing. Okay, you have to just add type is equal to module. Okay, now that should fix it, right? Okay, so now we're gonna save that and again do node src/app.js. Sorry, there we go. And now as you can see, the server is running on 5000, right? So now you have made a, you can say that you have made a server, right? Now what is the purpose of a server? Obviously to give your data or take data from the user, right? From the client side, things like that, right? So let us send some data. So how to do that, right? So now I'll show you how you can create an API, right? So what is the purpose of API? It just either gives the data or takes the data, right? So it gives the data when we use .get through the client side, or it takes the data when we use .post in this client side. So these are all REST API concepts, right? So now as we have made a server, right? So now we have made a server and let's just do app.get. Now we're gonna do it, give it a path, right? So after the URL, right? Now if I just, okay, just let me show you that. Okay, so this is a normal browser. Okay, now if I just go to localhost 5000, right, on which we have we are using our server, right? Okay, so now it says everything blank. Okay, it does not work, things like that, right? Error, right? So let's just close this and give it a something to return, right? Okay, so now I'll provide the next path. Okay, so after for example, what I want to say is that, for example, after localhost, we'll just give this plain URL, nothing inside beside that, right? So first we'll use that, not to make it just complex, right? So I'll just use that, and when we go to this URL, this is what will happen, right? So there will be a request. Now this is the format how we make these things, right? So this is the syntax, and now we will just rest. So we use request when we post a request through the client side, but now we are responding, right? So we'll just use rest, right? So rest.send, let's just say, hey, I am the server, right? Let's go exclamatory mark. Yeah, cool. So now if I just open the thing, right, let's just save that, right? So now you must notice that every time you save, you just have to got this thing, do again node src app.js and just keep running it, but that's really not efficient for development, right? So how to make it very smooth? So you have to install another package called nodemon, right, or nodedemon, and yeah, so let's just install that, and just some little changes now we have to make in the package.json to just make it work, right? Okay, so let it just get installed. Okay, now it's been installed. Now we have to add a little script here. So what are scripts? So we wrote this as the very first thing when we started doing it, right? So this is a script, this triggers a script, right? So here we'll add another script, we'll call it start. Okay, we'll start, and inside we'll say nodemon, then we have to go to src app.js, so the path in which our main file is present at, right? Now you're gonna just save it, and there we go. And yeah, now so I've just commented it now to show you how nodemon makes the development really easy in backend. So if I just, now you have to now see we have added the start script, right? So you have to use that. Okay, so to now start the server, we'll use npm start, right? And now if you'll see nodemon is starting, and there we go, our server is running on 5000. Okay, now if we'll see, if I just make us this simple change, we have made this simple change, we're gonna uncomment it out. If I just save it, just look down here, it will automatically notice that and restart the server. There we go, we have restarted the server, right? Now if I go to our local host, right, now if we go to our local host, there we go, we have just sent it from the server to our browser, right? So there we go, that's how it works, that's how a server works. So now you know how to give something. Now another main important concept of server is to take things, right? For example, I'm using a form right now. I have things. When the user clicks submit, everything that he or she has written, I should get that in the server to give it to my database or something. So when we have to do those things, we do not use get, right? So we will use get when we, for example, you must be using APIs like coronavirus cases or things like that, number of cases. So there you make API requests in the client side, right? But when we need to post things, we use the post function. So we will use app.post, right? App.post, we have to give it a path. For example, we'll give it post, right? Post. Now we're just gonna do the same thing, right? So let's just copy that. There we go. Now what we will do is that we will be taking some things from our user, right? So let's just so how we take things, as I have told you earlier, we use required, right? So we use this rec thing. So for example, we'll just declare a variable called data, and we will take everything that the rec's body has. So if you do rec dot, you will get this recommendation. So just select body, and there you go. Or you can also write it, obviously. Yeah, so we have got the things. Now we will send this data again to our client side to see that obviously are we getting the data or not. And so if we just do rest.send.data, and also to just get these things in the console to see, just see as a developer that it's working or not, you can also just console.log data, right? There we go. Now if I'm gonna save it, so now we are loaded. There we go. So there's a software called Postman, or it also works on web. So now if you have installed it, you should it works something like this, right? So what this does is this kind of simulates what will happen if we just give it a get request or a post request or things, a lot of things, right? Let's just add what our URL is, right? What our port is, right, on which our server is running, right? So that is localhost 5000. There we go. So to just know how this Postman thing works, let me just first show you how a get function works. For example, we are getting this on this path, right? For example, that means our default path. So I have set the method to get. Now if I just tap enter or just hit send, you will see that you must be getting, there we go, hey, I am a server that we have sent in this path, okay, or in this route actually. Okay, so now we have set this to post, right? We've set this to post, and now we will provide it some data. So now obviously we are providing it data in body. For example, I had already written this for some reason, okay? So let's just send it this data from our client side, right? So Postman simulates these things, right? I can just tap enter here, or just tap send. So now we have sent this data, right? So we are getting this data, and we have again responded this data to our client side. So we must be getting this data here, or also we should be console logging this data here. But as you can see, we are getting undefined, so there must be some error, and that error will be fixed by body parser. So Express does not understand JSON, so it has to parse this data that we are giving it into JSON format so that it can understand, right? So to do that, we use body parser. Now how to use that? Just it is as simple as app.use, there we go, and body parser dot JSON we should use, there we go. And now it should be parsing everything. Server is running now. We have just used, as you can see, body parser we have just imported from Express, used it as body parser dot JSON to parse the JSON things, right? So that our Express can understand it. Now if we use Postman and just send this data, right, now we should get, there we go, we had just got these things as the response. Now if you can just see here, also we have also got these things as we have console log this thing. So there we go, you have just made your first server on Node using Express, right? So just let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you didn't understand anything, right? And yeah, just let me know what you think about this. And obviously if you like this video, do subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, that means a lot to me. And yeah, I'll just see you in the next video. Till then, have a great day.